Hey, so it is 11:15, Tuesday, April 21st, and I want to share with you something very important, just like my last video, talking about an airstrike that's coming. You guys, this is serious. People are fed up. And, I hate to say this, but people are fed up with our president and his entourage and the secretary. Everybody's fed up with these people. All right. And the state of California is like a sewer. It's become a sewer and it stinks. So I'm going to share what God showed me. God said 72 runs through the whole district. I was told that in a dream by the almighty, wonderful, all-powerful Alpha and Omega creator of heaven and earth. Okay. I'm not sure what that means, but God speaks to me in numbers. Okay. It has something, California is a cesspool of drugs, rape, treason, rebellion, fake. California is the most nastiest state in this country. And so then I was shown in a dream, I saw my road that I live on. And the skies were like cloudy. And I was shown down a certain section of this road, and there's a cemetery off to the right. And I was shown that, and there's like a fence in front of it with like bricks and stuff like that. I was shown that there was nothing left. There was no cemetery left. There was no, if you continue on down the road, there's like an orchard. There's, grapevines. There's all these things. There was nothing left. It was gone. It was all gone. And what God showed me was after it was gone was that the grass had grown back. But this grass didn't look like field grass, you guys. Like, okay, there's some wild rice in there, some wild grains, or some tops off of things, or anything like that. There's no foxtails growing in there. There's nothing. There was no headstones. There was no nubs of like grapevines. There was no burnt trees. There was nothing. But just this grass, certain type of grass that was waving in the wind. And it was all waving to the left. And it like bent over, it was just kind of like, there was nothing but a road and that certain type of grass that looked like it survived. There was no like little grains waving in the wind. There was nothing. And I thought, how odd. What would happen to take out a whole cemetery to where there's nothing there? There's no headstones. There's no monument set up. There's nothing there. It's completely gone. And new grass had come back. There's no hedges down the side of the road. There's no fence. There's nothing. As far as my eye could see in the quick dream I had, there was nothing. It was gone. And what had grew back? Oh, the road didn't have a dotted line down the middle of it. It was just a road now, with grass on either side of it. It wasn't like an assorted field grass. It was just a certain type of grass that survived and started growing back. And I thought, this is serious, you guys. And then I have a dream of written on a plane and that's going to airstrike us, and it said ACM on the top part of it, and on the belly side it said, let me bring it back up. It said set put on Ingram. And then I know, that's what I heard. Hold on a second. Let me go back. It said remediable or remediable. It was, I'm pretty sure it was remediable. And it was written in writing, and it was a blue and white, a blue and red plane. Now, this is not what's going to airstrike us, you guys. This is a plane that flies around to blue and red. What is that? What is a blue and red plane? We know that blue and white planes are cops. Over here in California, those are cops. And by the way, I had a dream that one of those came flying towards me in the distance and landed on my property. This is serious. People are fed up. So that blue and red plane that I saw ACM written in white on the top, among other letters, okay, and on the bottom it said remediable, was flying overhead. And I'm guessing that after this airstrike, it flies around trying to find survivors or offer survival or meds or something like that, right? Blue and red is going to be different. Blue and red is like, let's save some lives, right? And people are sick of it. People are sick of California. They're sick of their families being ripped apart. They're sick of not having money. They're sick of watching people get shot, beaten, and raped to death. They're sick of hearing about it. They're sick of having no results happen. They're sick of our kids being tossed around like they're commodities. California has gone down the damn dumper. I'm sorry to say damn, but it's the truth. And this is what's going to happen. This is the result of what just happened, what I just said. There's going to be an airstrike. And I did videos before about the balance scales. The balance scales is actually written in the book of Revelation. There's the pale horse rider or the gray horse rider. There's the red horse and the black horse. And one of those horses is the balance scales. That's the courthouse. And people are getting sick and disgusted of that too. They're sick of it. They are sick of it. They are sick of calling the sheriffs or the police department, and within the last 10 years, it seems like you call a sheriff or a police department and you are a good person and you are genuinely concerned, or you are a mandated reporter for kids, and nothing happens. They're sick of it. And I'm telling you right now that all these illegals that come up into this state, because California says it's a blue state. I'm not saying, hey, you're going to try to find the dream, right? But when you come into a social services position, or you come into a court of law, or you come into a position of a peace officer, and you have a fake ID, and you have fake documentation, and you are signing your names in those courts, in those reports, in those documentations, on those tickets, you're up in here in our state, in our country, and you are being a terrorist, and you have no right to be here. Your signatures are illegal. Whatever signatures you put on that document or that ticket or that report or whatever is illegal, because your ID is illegal, and so is your documentation. It is illegal. We are a republic. You don't come into this country and be like, oh, I'm going to go do this and that and the other thing with your illegal documentation and then be ruling over people. You don't do that. Your signature, whatever you put your hand to in this country, you're an enemy of this country. And I know there's good folks, there's good people. They came in this country the right way. There was no coyote. There was no, trafficked over here. There was no, we hopped a wall. There was no fling the baby over the wall. There was no arranged marriages, to get in, to stay in this country, things like that. That is, you could actually call ICE and they have an actual number you press for that. If you suspect someone came in this country and then there's a group that's trafficking or coyotes and they arranged a marriage for you, that could be reported for that person. That could be reported too. And they get deported, especially when you find out they are in charge of something over your life that has ruined your life with their fake signature, with their fake ID. You get deported. And I encourage everybody, if they love this country and they love God, that they would call ICE and they would take control of their state or their country or their lives and not be fed garbage.